Hey guys, it's Deborah here with my friend Margaret for the Reseller Stew episode 5. And today we're going to be talking about progress. And just kind of about the coming year, and it's just that end of the year thing, and everybody has their resolutions, and you start looking back on last year or the last 5 years or whatever, and it's really easy right now to kind of think about progress and things you want to change, things you want to do, and what your steps are, and anything new that you've come across. Like me, I've been trying to come up with new scenarios and ways to function. But how are you doing, Margaret?
Doing great. Just, it's been kind of nuts with the kids home over the last 2 weeks. So that's been a juggle.
Yeah, mine are off at Christmas camp. Like they have winter, it's called winter camp at the YMCA. So they're off at camp from, it starts at 7 and it ends at like 6, but I don't drop them off until like 9.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to wake up that
hours, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even if I could just get 3 hours, just give me 3 hours.
Yeah. We're also going to be having Tonya with Thrifty Treasures, right? That's her. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's going to be joining us momentarily. April is sickies, and Jenny is not available right now, and Robin is on vacation. So it's us girls.
Yep.
And our new friend Tonya. Well, she's Margaret's old friend.
We've just met this year too, so it's still kind of.
Really? You guys seem like y'all have known each other. I thought you knew each other for like a really long time.
No, just this year. When I started making YouTube videos, she saw one of them and was like, "Hey, I know where that is."
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I need to do a better job next year of connecting with people, because there's people that I've known online on Facebook for a long time that are local or come here. Like there's one lady who travels here quite often because her daughter goes to school here. And they mention like, we should meet up. And I'm always like, yeah, we totally should. And then like 3 years,
Yeah, I started a Gulf Coast resellers group on Facebook, and there's like 6 or 7 of us in there. But, we'll share, our little videos, but our videos, our scores, or, but it's kind of nice, and then maybe eventually I'll say, hey, everybody, why don't we try to meet up or something, go to the flea market together. And
there's a meetup group here in Austin, but I thought about going, and then I was like, well, I don't really want to share. Like, I don't really want to, because I can be an oversharer.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get like, where I overshare too much information, since it's even though there's so many places to go here. I feel like I would out something that I would regret later.
I mean, I get that, and I guess too, because I live in the Houston area, so it's ginormous. There's so much, so it's not. But Tonya and I especially stay in our little zone over here in our little bubble, so. We were talking about, she's actually got a list going of where we're going to go on our next outing. But I think there's so many flea markets and stuff. I was like, well, it'd be kind of fun just like to have a meetup, like, hey, let's all go to the flea market and have lunch or something. So
because it was totally fun, like with the green room and everybody coming.
Oh, that was so much fun.
Yeah, getting together, that was pretty amazing. And
do you know who Thelma Thrift is? She makes YouTube videos as well. No, but she's in the Houston area too, so I was like, I know somebody might know her in the chat.
I think I may have saw one of those videos. I bet you if I looked it up, I'd be like, oh yeah.
Like white blonde. She's like real classy, and I don't know.
See, nobody ever describes me that way when they're describing my videos.
A white blonde, or maybe it may be like white gray, but it's
Thrifty, Thelma.
Thelma Thrift.
Oh, Thelma Thrift.
Mm-hmm. She's a good one to watch.
And it brought up Teresa. I mean, it brought up Tonya.
Oh. Maybe she's got a double life.
Yeah. No, there she is. I see her. I think I have seen one of those videos before. Yeah, she is very classy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I think it would be fun. I mean, it's just nice. Anyway, I know I'm just rambling now. Whatever.
That's okay.
Okay. Yeah, Dwayne was saying the green room meetup was awesome.
It was.
Yeah.
It was super fun. I would love to do something like that, like every year. Just.
Yeah.
But I know for people, it's easy for me because I live here.
Yeah.
You know, so, because if it was somewhere else, I wouldn't have come. Like, I wouldn't have been able to make it. So I was lucky enough that I actually live here and I could participate, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it's only a 2-hour drive from me, so it was not a big deal. But some people came from like everywhere, Idaho.
Super far away. Like the one lady, she drove like for 2 days.
Yeah.
And then she only stayed 1 day and then she drove like 2 days back.
Yeah. But it was fun. I mean, I think too, it was a bit of a road trip for her. She had her daughter with her, right?
Yes, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Very long trip. I wouldn't have done it. But so we can get into our normal questions of the week, which I always lose my notebook that has them written down. But I guess we can talk about what was our best or worst sale of the week. What was our best sale of the week?
Ooh, I'm unprepared. My best sale?
I'm not prepared either. I took a nap an hour before the show because I've been up since 3. I woke up and I couldn't go back to sleep. My brain was like, wouldn't shut up. And so I got out of bed at like 3:40 and came in here and processed all those dog collars. So that's ready to ship out.
They're going to Amazon?
Yes. Yeah. They're going to Amazon. There's 4 or 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that are sticking around and I'll stick up on eBay. Because I just didn't feel like making a listing for one collar. Yeah. You know, like it was one of one style and one of the other, and so I just didn't feel like making a listing for it. So they'll go up on eBay.
Since Christmas, I haven't had. I mean, I've had a few sales here and there. I'm trying to think.
My Amazon was dead. Like for 8 days. I had one order for $39.
Yeah.
And then yesterday I got an order for like $9, and then I got a return for $40. So it was like my 10-day total on Amazon is like $9. It's really like, I don't know what happened. It just like shriveled up and died.
Yeah, like right after Christmas, it was like done. I've had a couple of sales. But
yeah, mine was like before Christmas. Mine ran all the way from like the 20th up through like yesterday. It was like really bad.
Wow.
Yeah, I've never had like a slump like that before. I was like, man, do I just have like a bunch of crap at the warehouse or what's going on? Like, people are like, we don't want your junk.
Yeah. Well, too, and then I just sent like, I'm getting all this stuff out. So I just sent, a shipment out, and I'm like, usually there's enough coming in to cover what's going out.
Oh, right.
And then I'm like, I better get some sales before the next.
Yeah, I haven't sent in a shipment since November, or maybe before then, because I know I have that box that I never even sent in. It's like already processed and sitting here, and all I had to do was weigh it, and I just like didn't. I was like, and it's still here, but it's gonna go out today.
I have a stack of stuff that like I've never created a listing, so I'm gonna teach myself to do this. But I have a stack of stuff that was I need to create the listing. So before like an hour ago, I was gonna start, and I started pulling out from the stack, and I noticed they already had labels on them. And what is this? There were things I forgot to put in the last shipment box. I'm like, oh!
Better late than never, right?
Yeah, I'm like, well, they're labeled.
Yeah. I guess my sale for the week, and I sold a ton of those dang super shooter parts. And I always tell people it's very seasonal, very seasonal. I was selling like 1 or 2 or 3 parts of those machines like every day.
What's a super shooter?
It is a cookie press.
Oh, okay.
And I part them out, and I sell the handle all by itself. And I actually found out something new out of all the years that I've been selling them. And this is like my 4th year of selling them. That they only hold together with 3 screws, and you can totally take them apart and clean them out. And they're gross inside. Like, they're all full of cookie. It's like grandma's cookies from 30 years ago were in there. And so, yeah, I cleaned one out. I was like, oh, I should have been doing this all along. Because normally I clean them very thoroughly on the outside. And there's nothing like that's going to go from the inside to your, it's just from it getting around, you know. And they're really messy. And so, yeah, I clean them pretty thoroughly, but I was like, oh, I should have been doing this whole dismantling thing a long time ago, just as a service. But yeah, I sell all the barrel and the handle and the screw and piston that go in it. The screw and piston you can sell for $18 all on its own.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I haven't had a lot of success over the years selling the discs, but this year they were just, you know, I sold through quite a few discs, like the little shapes that are supposed to be used. And normally I don't sell any. And you just sold, huh?
Oh, no, go on.
So I sold all my handles. I sold all my screws and pistons. I sold all of my barrels and caps. I don't have anything left besides some of the little pushers and the discs.
So. Someone just jumped in the chat. I'm saying, are your ears burning? Yeah, I was gonna say, do you like just see them and pick them up when you're out and then hold on to them till Christmas, or do you list them all year?
I don't. I keep them all year, but it's a good till canceled listing. And somebody told me, they're like, oh, did you know that your listing is the #1 search result for super shooter replacement parts? And I was like, no, I didn't know that. And I went to go look it up, and it was like there, it was #1 in Google. Awesome. I was like, oh, I need to buy more of those.
Yeah, for sure.
I had kind of stopped buying them because it's, you know, it's just it's dead all year. Nobody really thinks about it till Christmas comes, and they're like, oh, I got to make my traditional cookies, and then something's broken or missing or whatever. And I had so many people commenting about like, oh, my son will be so happy, you know, he can get his cookies, or oh, yay. Like there was like 3 different people that mentioned like their tradition would go on because the thing was coming.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But how much are they when you see them and pick them up? Like about how much do you spend?
They're like $3.99, $4.99 per box.
And then you like use like from a Goodwill or wherever you see them?
Yeah. They're at Goodwill. They're like $4.99. I've never paid for more than $4.99. Okay. I think the stores are pretty used to them. They are so common. I mean, they're a very common item, and they're old. You know, like they're not a new.
I think I have one in my pantry.
Yeah, so I think they price them accordingly based off of the condition that the box looks like it's in, because the boxes are those sleeve things, and so they don't hold up very well. And they're older, and they're a cookie press. Like so, $4.99 is kind of like the price for it. I mean, I couldn't imagine them charging more than that. So did you have any like super good sale of the week, or?
Well, I've sold, you know, some more cufflinks and a tie bar, but I did go ahead. Remember the Lego guy I showed you, and I wasn't sure if I should list him or not. And so I put one up on auction. I went ahead and did that. So I picked him up for 19. He sold at auction for 40, which, you know, is pretty good. And so I listed the other one for 47, and it just kind of sat with a few watchers, and then I put another one up on auction. So we'll see how it goes.
Oh, okay, cool.
We finally saw the movie yesterday, and it was so good. Have you seen it yet? I won't.
No, I probably won't either. Like, it's not.
We're going again tomorrow.
Yeah, it's not my thing. Like, I didn't watch. I was dating this guy like when I was 18, and he was like a big Star Wars fan, and we went into the comic book store, and he was like, "Yeah, this and this," and then Darth Vader died, and I was like, "Darth Vader died?" And then the comic book guy looked at me like, "Get out of my store." You know? And so the guy made me like go home and watch the movies, like the 3 that were out at that time.
Yeah.
You know? And then we ended up going to watch the
new ones.
The first one that was the 4th one or whatever. Mm-hmm.
Spoilers. We should have told people in the chat.
I know. Oh, spoiler alert. Sorry, spoiler. Ruined it.
I won't say anything about the new one though. But
it's only like a 40-year-old spoiler. Like,
yeah.
That's like when we were watching Lost on Netflix, and for some reason on the radio they got to talking about Lost, and they're like, and then at the end, whenever such and such happened, and I'm like, Oh, you totally ruined it. Like, why are you talking about something that's 5 years old? Like,
Yeah.
and
No,
so then I knew the whole time, like, what happened at the end.
because a lot of times I'll wait for everything to come out on Netflix and just watch, like, binge watch it.
Yeah,
You know?
I'm still waiting for the second part of whatchamacallit. I forget things that I watch like that. Mad Men. I'm still waiting on the second part of the last season because it's not on Netflix.
We've only got a few. I'm only a few into that, but I really think Mad Men is really helping me sell a lot of my men's accessories and stuff.
Huh?
Yeah. Because people want like the little collar pins and the cufflinks or whatever. I think
that's an idea.
Word I use, that's for sure.
So did you go sourcing at all in the past week?
I did.
Get anything good?
Nothing over the top good. I went yesterday just because I needed to like get away from the kids for a couple minutes. So I went to Goodwill, and just poked around a bit. But what did I get? Like a couple plush, and I got something else, but I can't even remember. Some books to send into Amazon. Yeah, nothing huge.
I haven't been at all, except for I did a little bit of RA when I was at the grocery store because I always check out like their clearance
right
when I'm there. And so we went to go pick up some stuff just before Christmas, and I bought these Juven, or I think they're supposed to be Joven almost, like in Spanish, which means young. I think that's where they got this from, is Juven. And like Juvenate. And they're made by the Insure people. I've bought them before. These ones don't expire until next year in May, and then the following year in February. So I don't know if they're discontinuing this flavor. This is orange, or if they just had too many and it was an overstock issue, which they'll do a lot. Like they'll clearance stuff out, overstock quite often. But I got them for $4.98. They sell for like $25, $28, and I've sold them before on eBay that I had picked up that were like expiring. They were like, it was November or June or whatever, and they were expiring like that month. And I went ahead and listed them on eBay for like, I think it was $49.95 is what I listed them for, and they fit perfectly in a little regional box.
Yeah.
And I had only paid like, I think $4 for them at that time because they were expired. So, but yeah, these are good until they've got a good time away on these ones.
Somebody will want that flavor. They're gonna,
Who knows? But yeah, so these are always something I watch out for. If I see them, I'm like, ooh,
cool.
So that was my pickup for the week. That was the only thing I bought. Like, because I bought all those dog collars last week, and just this morning got them processed. So they're going out. They're going out.
Yay!
Yay! They don't do me any good sitting here.
Yeah, like I said, I got a pile of stuff that I've got to make lists for. But I think it's not that hard. So we'll see.
Yeah, that was kind of a lesson that I learned as well, like with my anxiety that I have about stuff, because the dog collars were something that I bought very spur of the moment. They were at the store when I got there, and I ended up buying $600 worth of them. It was just like, there was a lot of, I don't know, anxiety that went along with them, and so for the past week I overanalyzed them. Where I was like, oh, maybe I don't want to send them in. Maybe their rank isn't that good. Maybe I just need to take these back.
Right.
Yeah, so it kind of taught me, like, I need to slow my roll a little bit, but it was like the only day they were doing the sale. Like, the sale was ending that day.
Yeah.
And so I kind of went all in, and I had some regrets for a little bit, and then, well, there's Tonya, but she doesn't have a camera.
I see her.
Oh, hey!
There you are. How are you doing?
Good. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for coming on.
It took me a little while to figure out how to install the software. This is the first time I've ever done anything live.
Oh, yay! Well, yeah, it's special. Well, we were just talking about, normally what we talk about at the beginning of the show is kind of if we had a really good find of the week, or what our best sale of the week was. And so we just finished talking about that. If you want to share, did you have a really good find this week?
Oh Oh gosh, I wasn't prepared. I'm sorry. Let me think.
We weren't either. We kind of wing it as we go.
Um, I don't know if I have any one thing in particular, but I've been having really good luck with all the snapback hats. So
I
I've
saw your
been,
video where you were talking about your little snapback hat.
yeah, and so I pick them up at Goodwill for $2 or $3, and I've been flipping most of them for upwards of 20. So
You posting them on eBay?
yeah, eBay.
Yeah. I have some. I got a list. They were in the booth and they weren't selling, so I brought them home. And now they're sitting at
You
home.
look so pretty this morning, Margaret. So put together.
Oh, I put on pink on purpose for Deb. I never got a chance to say that, but I thought it would brighten her, spirits, because I know she was,
Aww.
like tired and
So
noisy.
sweet.
That is
So
sweet.
I always wear black, and so I was like, I'm gonna put on pink for
I'm
Deb.
gonna be festive. That's awesome. Thank you.
I don't know.
So, Tonya, did you have any good sales of the week? Anything that was just like awesome? Our weeks were both slow. We didn't have anything amazing to talk about. It was kind of wonk.
Let me look real quick. I have an awful memory. What did I sell? Let's see.
We have in the chat, the Barn Junkie said that she sold a ceramic Christmas tree that she paid $10 for and sold it for $125.
Whoa. Is it one of
You know
those
what?
with little lights on it?
Huh?
Ones? Or,
I think that's what she means, the light up ones.
yeah.
Because in all of my thrifting years, I've never seen one of those in the store. Ever. Ever. Ever.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah. Because it's always been in the back of my mind, because like when I first started, that was one of the things that was like on the BOLO list. Was those trees, and I've never ever seen one.
Was it a big one? I think I have a little one in my antique booth. Yeah, it's like
Well, how
like
much you
that.
got? What's your sale going in your antique booth? I may go buy it and flip it.
Well, it's not the kind that it doesn't light up in all colors. I think it just has like a little night light in it, and then it it's probably maybe only about 12 inches tall, but it's not the colorful kind.
So it's okay.
Oh, it's not the one
There's
like
little bitty ones that are like 5 or 6 inches tall. Like, I mean, I think that's what people are talking about. I don't know.
Yeah, they're not super. They're probably, I guess, maybe 8 inches. I don't think they're a foot.
I'm going up to the booth today.
I'm going on eBay. Let me look it up.
Are you? I need to go. I usually go on Tuesdays.
I'll race you. I'm gonna go see what your Christmas tree is priced at.
I don't think I have it priced at much.
Okay, so it looks like they are about 19 inches tall.
Hey,
And some of them are smaller at 14 inches.
19.
Some of them are larger at 18 or 24 inches.
Christian said hers is 8 to 10 inches tall.
Yeah, there's one right here that's at 7.
Oh, how do I see the chat? How do I do that, Margaret?
Oh, she said it was 19 inches. I have it open on another page. Like I have YouTube open on another page, like you're watching it.
Yeah, you have to open it in a separate page.
But can you see everything on the same screen?
No.
Oh, okay.
Separate.
Okay.
I wish they would find a way to combine it. It would make it so much easier on the people doing the show if it was on the same, like if they could, transmit the chat onto our screen.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be great. So we're going to talk about our, if there was a lesson learned of the week or anything new that we learned this week. What I learned just today was being more, people talk about being like the first in or the last out on something. And I had some probiotics that I had bought, and I had a lot of anxiety about buying them because I had asked a couple other resellers about them, and I was like, hey, what do you think about this? They're $4. And they're like, oh, yeah, totally buy them all. And so I did. And then, like, the price, like, tanked because everybody and their mom bought them. And they went up on Amazon, and the price was just, like, god-awful low. I mean, like you were going to lose money.
Right.
And so I waited a little while for some people to sell out, and then I priced mine kind of accordingly, where I would make back just what I paid plus like my cost to send it in, you know, so I might have profited no money, you know, it was 50 cents or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And then today I got to looking at them because I had 6 of them that were sitting in reserve for some reason. So I had them open up an investigation, so it made me look at the actual ASIN, and the price is like double what it was when I sold them, when I was trying to liquidate them. And I still had a really good date range. Like, they were still good for another 6 months. Like, from now. They were still, like, they weren't going to expire for 6 months. So I was like, man, I should have kind of held on to those a little bit longer, you know, than I did. But I panicked. You know, I panicked, and I was like, oh, my God, I don't want to lose money. You know, I'd rather just make my money back. This was a bad decision. I think there's probably, like, 5 videos that I talked about those things that I was like, oh, and I'm so glad these are just leaving. You know, that they're just going, because I was so worried about, like, losing money on them, which I'm not in that business. But yeah, if I would have kind of held on to them just a little bit longer and not have panicked and jumped ship, I would have made a profit. You know, I could have made $200 instead of nothing. But I guess it's kind of the risk that you take, that you're not really sure. You don't know, especially when you're doing RA. You have no idea whether you're going to lose money, break even, or actually make a profit.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, about your risk aversion, you know, kind of like with the stock market, you know. A lot of people just like went all in on the pie game and on the advent calendars, and they were like freaking out, you know, am I going to be able to make my money back?
Price is dead on the pie face game.
Yeah.
It just like plummeted into, and it's fell on its face, is what it did.
And I didn't buy but I did buy some of the advent calendars, but I didn't send them in. I just sold them on eBay, and then I don't know, that way I felt like I had a little more, I wouldn't have to recall them if they didn't sell by December 1st or whatever, and I don't know.
Did Pie Face get pulled from Amazon?
Not that I know of.
Oh, it came up and said no listings, and I was like, weird, and then now it brought up all of them. Okay. Oh yeah, they're $18.
Yeah.
And they're like 21 free shipping on eBay.
So
yeah, they're done. I have a receipt if anybody needs one for Walmart. You can use it and take back 10. I have no more. I gave away a bunch as gifts, and I sold some locally to people that were looking for them. It was on the 22nd of December, and I was like, oh, it's too close to Christmas, nobody's gonna buy these anymore. And I pulled the listing, and I sold 3 of them locally, and I had 1 left over for my cousin. And that night I accidentally relisted the Pie Face game along with some other things that I was relisting, and it sold on the 23rd, well, the night, the 22nd, it was the 23rd that I saw that it sold, and they paid $60 some odd for FedEx overnight.
Wow.
Because they had to have it by the 24th.
Yeah.
So I sold it for $44, and they paid $63.
Over
$107 for a $15 game. Yeah. I was terrified. I was talking to Paul and some other guys about it, and I was like, I think I'm going to cancel this order. I said, because this person is going to have buyer's remorse when 2 days later this game is in stock, and they're going to come back and say there was something wrong with it, the box was messed up, it's missing a piece or something, and I'm going to have to eat that $60 shipping because I sold them something defective, quote unquote. You know, and I was so worried about it, and then I didn't notice that she had sent me a message, and she was like, hey, I put the wrong shipping address. I have to have this. That's why I was willing to pay the shipping, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and send it.
Yeah.
But for a little bit, I was freaking out, and I was like, I think I'm going to cancel this or give her a phone call. I was going to call her.
Yeah.
Hi! I just need to verify your address for your shipment, make sure you weren't, like, drunk when you bought this.
Yeah.
I was pretty concerned, but yeah, so.
Somebody on one of the mommy groups that I'm in posted the Pie Face game that she was playing with her family, and she said, best $14.99 I ever spent. I'm like, where'd you get it for $14.99? That's what I want to know. Yeah,
that's what I paid for mine.
Yeah.
I had went to find it for my daughter because she wanted it and she wanted to play it. And I had looked it up, and the Target that was a little bit across town, like 10 minutes away, said they had them in stock. So I was like, oh, we'll go get it, and then we can come home and play it. Well, we got over there, and there wasn't any. And so then I felt terrible because I had, like, upped her hopes, you know, that we were going to do this thing. And so we went looking for it, and they just weren't any. And then the following morning, I was looking on Target.com, and they said they had some over at the one by my house. And so I called them, and they're like, yeah, we have 3. And I was like, well, could you hold them for me? And they're like, no, we're not doing holds until next week or something, which made no sense to me. So then I had to race over there, and I got 2. And then shortly after that, when I posted on Facebook, like, hey, you know, I found them, my friend that works at Walmart was like, oh, we just got 8 cases in.
Oh.
And so then I went over to Walmart, and I only bought 10. I bought 10 of them. And I wasn't even intending to flip any of them. I was like, oh, these would be good gifts, you know, since everybody's looking for them. And $15 is kind of cheap, you know, for a gift.
Yeah.
But I ended up selling a couple just to kind of recoup some money. And I think I only sold 2 or 3 at like full price, like 40. I was selling them for $44.95 free priority mail shipping.
That's good.
So I think I sold 2 or 3. And then I sold some like 3 locally to people. For just cost, because you can't sell stuff locally on Facebook at higher than retail cost.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, they'll put your head on a stick and like egg your car.
This guy there's a local garage sale site on Facebook here, and he was selling those Yeti mugs. I guess we're wild around here.
Oh yeah, here too. Yeah.
And so he's like, last Christmas gifts, get your Yeti mug here, $100. Oh my gosh! It was like, you know, the torches and pitchforks after this dude. Like,
they were doing $60 here, and it was like they were ready to like burn their house down.
Yeah, he was like, but they're powder coated. They're powder coated. And they're like, we don't care.
Yeah, they were nuts about the Yeti. Yes, yeah. Yeti was, and then people started putting spoof listings. They're like, hey, I have Yeti. Pictures of Yetis and pictures of Pie Face game. You're not getting either, but I have a picture of it, and you can buy it for $30.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it was not pretty. Those Yeti cups were like, oh, they were ready to.
I mean, on these sites, like people would say, oh, you know, Sunski Sport just got a shipment of Yeti cups in. And somebody would run over there and, oh, they're already sold out. And so then they're like complaining about those people take them to resell them on eBay, and you know it. You know?
Yeah, it was like that too. It was like, Big Sporting Goods has a whole display of them, and the guy's like, I just called them, they don't have any. And he's like, yes, they do, I was just there. And it's like, no, they don't, I just called them. It was like this whole argument. It was bad. It was really bad.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a Yeti cup yet?
Do what?
Y'all have a Yeti cup yet?
I don't have a Yeti cup.
I don't. I bought my dad one of the cool.
You need to get one.
I'm not spending $60 on a cup.
I know, that's the problem, right?
No can do.
I bought my dad the Coolster. It's a koozie that you put your cans in. I bought him that, and I got it off of Facebook for $27.
I seen them at Buc-ee's too.
We don't have Buc-ee's close by. They're at Academy, which is right down the street, but they've been sold out for weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, there's some people, it was funny because I heard somebody mention, like, what's Yeti? And I was like, what do you mean, what's Yeti? But apparently, like, it's from Austin, so we're more, I guess, in the South, more accustomed to them. But it's like a $500 million business. It's not, you know.
Their coolers are so expensive.
They have a $2,500 cooler. I'm like,
no.
So somebody can steal it out of my back of my truck, and I can get it.
Right? I forgot what we were talking about originally. So, Tonya, did you send in any like big stuff, like RA stuff to Amazon, like Pie Face or stuff?
No, you know, I kept watching all of that going down in the green room, but I just I don't. I mean, I love to shop, but Christmas time, I try to avoid the retail stores, and I just didn't really get into that. I don't really like to be out, you know, big money like that right off the bat. So But next year I might source some things over the summer if I see them, that are on sale.
Right.
And just kind of stockpile for fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good idea. Games and such.
I think I sold through a lot of my games and puzzles prior to, like, back in November and October.
Yeah.
I know when it starts getting cold, games and puzzles are still really good because people, they get stuck inside and then they have really nothing else to do,
We're finally cold here.
I know. Me too.
I know, right?
Yesterday, right, is when it came through.
It's boot weather. Woohoo!
On our Gulf Coast reseller site, somebody posted about the cold weather, and I said, yeah, I got irritated yesterday because I had to wear normal shoes, and I forgot like how confining they feel. Sandals.
Yeah, it's like 40 something here, and it's funny because like on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, it was just really warm, and now it's finally cold. So we were going to talk about our kind of like our progress, what we're trying to progress in our business for the coming year, and kind of the steps or suggestions or things that we can do to kind of help our businesses ramp up, or any resources that we know of that are useful in keeping your business organized or things like that.
Cool.
Because I know I personally started using Easy Auction Tracker this year, and I wish that I would have used it the entire time I had my business because it's so simple to keep. Easy Auction Tracker is a spreadsheet that has a token for your eBay, so it pulls all of your information. It pulls all of your sales, your fees, shipping, it pulls all the customer information, email, all that stuff, and pulls it automatically into the spreadsheet and then divides it into different sections. And so you have your sales, and all you have to do is enter your costs. And it'll pull your refunds and everything. Like if you have a return, it'll come back and say that item was returned, and it'll zero out the amount. And then you basically it just automatically pulls the information for you. I mean, I don't know how else to put it, but
it's for like bookkeeping?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And then you can enter in like your inventory as you bring it in. It has a different little work page sheet for entering your inventory, and like the day you bought it, when you kind of what it is and how much you paid for it. And it's easy to flip back and forth when you're like, oh, how much were those shoes? And you can kind of just go back and find the brand, and you're like, oh, they were $7.99.
Yeah.
Put it into your cost.
I do that in Google Docs. Like I create a spreadsheet to when I enter in my inventory when I bring it in.
Yeah. So this will pull all of your sales information and all your fees and everything.
That's awesome.
And you can get an actual like profit amount based off of your cost, after fees, after shipping, and everything, and it gives you your exact profit.
So then I don't, because I do that every week. Like I go like to the eBay calculator and I figure it all out.
It pulls it for you.
Oh, is it a monthly fee or how does that work?
No, it's $50 a year, and then if you like sign up the next year, then it's 20% off.
Still $50 a year. That's not
so cheap. It's so worth it. I mean, I would never keep up with a spreadsheet. I'm not that person.
Yeah.
Me either.
But I can enter my costs because I want to see my profits. Like that's fun for me. I want to see exactly how much I made.
That's fun.
I'm so glad
I do that every week to figure out my profit and stuff. Yeah.
That's what, if you ever see like my sales videos, that's my spreadsheet that is there. Then I'm like, okay, I made this amount of money. And whatever.
You need to find out, like, if you get if people sign up through you, do you get a discount or something like that?
No, there's an affiliate link, but you only get like a couple bucks, people signing up. But it starts out. I would start out now, like, because the year's gonna come.
Yeah.
It's like eBay, where it only pulls the last 90 days.
Auction tracker.
Yeah, so it's Easy Auction Tracker, and I'll put the link down at the bottom when we close out the show. It has totally simplified my bookkeeping for eBay. Like, I wouldn't believe. And it has tabs for you to enter your expenses and enter your mileage and enter all your stuff, but I don't do that.
Right.
I have GoDaddy for that.
Yeah,
I keep them separate because
I wonder if it syncs with GoDaddy.
I'm just not good with. What'd you say about GoDaddy?
I said I wonder if it would sync with GoDaddy.
It doesn't because it's a spread. I mean, I'm sure it could pull. Like it would. I'm sure you could do like a download since it's a spreadsheet, and you can.
Yeah. I mean, but I can enter my mileage onto GoDaddy. I mean, they have all that stuff in
It's
there.
just easier to do it on your app, because the app, add mileage, 15.
Yeah. Wait, there's a GoDaddy app, is that right?
Yes.
Holy crap! How do I not know this? I've been using GoDaddy for a year and I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a GoDaddy app, and it's easy to add your mileage, right at the time, like when you leave your house and you get to that store, and you're like, okay, to Goodwill,
I don't do that. I at the end of the month, how much do I think I drove this month?
I went 300 miles.
5,000 miles. No. I'm serious. I'm looking it up right now.
There's GoDaddy app, and so if you're very diligent about entering your stuff, you can do it right then. I'm not a very diligent individual, and so I end up going back and finding the dates that I went to stores and giving the mileage to them.
I can't believe that.
I should get I tried Mileage IQ, but you have to literally sit there at your Bluetooth. I mean, not your Bluetooth. Your GPS has to be on all the time, so it ran my battery down like crazy.
Oh yeah, no.
And you still had to go in and say, oh, this is a personal or this was a business, and I would forget to separate them, and so it wasn't helpful to me. It didn't, not for me personally, because I'm not gonna do that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into the that spreadsheet thing.
Yeah, it's amazing. I would suggest it to anybody. I love it, and I am not
because I do it all by hand, so
diligent about it. But I go in and I enter my costs because it's like a yay, oh, it's a prize at the end. You get to see all your profit.
That's cool. I mean, I'd still have to do it for Etsy, but that's okay. That's half my work.
Oh, and the good thing about the spreadsheet too is if you have multiple stores or multiple accounts, it will pull and separate them into separate, so you can divide it by username.
Oh, cool. It's downloading now. Yeah, that's one of my goals this year is to get more organized. And I thought I was pretty organized, but then it just kind of slacked off, Well,
I'm gonna have to be forced to be more organized because I do my husband. It was fine when it was just me and I would wing it on my business.
Right.
But my husband's home repairs business has really shot up. It's not a hobby. It's not something that, I mean, there's a lot of money exchanging hands. And so the bookkeeping aspect, I'm actually probably going to end up having to make it an S corp. We're going to have to set up payroll.
Yeah.
There's a whole different area of bookkeeping that I'm going to have to be doing, and I know that I'm not good in that area, so I'm going to have to actually delegate that out to other companies because I don't want to mess with the IRS, especially when it's $200,000 of gross receipts, coming through, and it's oh, well, we paid that guy, and we bought all this stuff, and it's well, what stuff? Oh, well, here's these receipts I have in a ball,
Yeah, I did get a CPA last year, so that was a big, Yeah,
I'm gonna have to. I'm either gonna have to become really good at something that I'm normally not good at, or I'm gonna have to delegate it out to somebody else.
And mine, it was so worth it. It was $200, and she took care of my personal and my business stuff.
Well,
That's awesome.
A link to a place that was $65 a month. You could get a quote, and it was specific for online sellers and stuff.
Oh.
And so I put in a request to have them give me a call. Maybe that's that number from Tennessee that's been calling me every day. Now that I think about it, and I blocked them because I was who is this? And they don't leave a message, so you're getting blocked. I bet you that's who it was. I had put in a request for them to give me a quote. Because they kind of look over things, and you have a person that's assigned to you, and they kind of specialize in Etsy, eBay, that kind of stuff. And they're their baseline price, I think, was $65 or something.
A month, though?
Yeah.
Oh, I have to be making a lot more money.
Yeah. I'm expecting next year. I did 60,000 in gross sales.
Well, that's good.
And I'm thinking with as little bit of effort as I actually put into that if I actually like treat my business like a business instead of this BS that I do with it all the time, that I should hit like $100,000 this year. So I have to be more organized. I can't, it's not hobby money, and it's not, it's becoming more than I'm capable of keeping track of.
Right.
It's either that or I need to take a class or something.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think don't get me started on the oil industry, but it just made everything else slow down, And so my husband's company, he doesn't work for the oil industry, but, he's in shipping, and it's just like they've already told them they're cutting back, and I don't know. So I have to really try to do a little bit extra this year just to kind of make things a little cushionier.
Yeah, that makes sense. That helps a lot. Make things less stressful.
Yeah.
So do you have any things for the year, Tonya, that you would like to really kind of change, that you've kind of learned over time, that you're like, I'd really like to do better at this?
Definitely. I need to get more organized with my taxes. Margaret knows. I'm so bad. I don't keep up with any of that stuff. Like, I think one year Amazon sent me, like, I had to file with the IRS. It was like in 2012, I think, and so I reported my income then, but I'm so bad about that stuff. I need to get serious. I just have fun, spend the money, go shopping.
Yeah, it gets hard, I think, because we all start out with this, I think, as it being just some extra money.
Right.
Nobody's sitting there going, hey, I'm going to start this business. Let me sign up my LLC right now, and let me set up my business account, and I'm going to start tracking my mileage. And nobody does, like the majority. Mm-hmm. Okay, there might be somebody. I don't know who they are. But the general population of eBay sellers, when they start out, is nobody goes into this going, this is going to be a business. You get into it, and you're like, all right, let me see how this goes. I think that people get into it kind of like just seeing what the possibilities are, and then when your business does grow, then you're like, holy crap, I should have been keeping track of all this stuff.
Right.
I didn't get into the business thinking, this is really going to be something. I was totally happy making $75 a week, I thought that was great.
Our home phone never rings.
You have a home phone? I haven't had a home phone in years.
Oh gosh.
I know. When there's power outages, they're the only things that work.
Right. Sorry for my dogs barking.
Oh, it's okay. I have dogs that go outside and bark, and then people get mad at me because they can hear my dog. And I'm like, but they're outside.
Right.
But
do you have Chihuahuas?
No, I have a Yorkie poodle and a poodle mix.
How cute.
So, yeah, no, this coming year, I want to work on, and I wanted to do this last year, and it didn't happen. Because right as I was getting myself organized, like, life got really chaotic. And I'm just going to try to force myself, because I'm getting into that mind state that it really is my state of mind, and it really is me that's in control of things, and I can be as frustrated or as angry or as happy or whatever I want to be.
Right.
So I'm kind of just like, okay, well, regardless of these outside things that stress me out, I need to do my business like a job and be much better at that, because I tend to waste a lot of time that could be money made. Welcome back, Margaret.
Okay.
So, for your coming up, do you have any big changes that you'd like to make with your business other than making the money or all of that? I mean, like, how do you plan on making those changes? Like, are you going to go sourcing more? Are you going to focus on other things?
To source more.
Yeah, I need to list more.
I know, that's
Right.
me. Oh my gosh. I was just telling somebody my workroom looks like a scene from Hoarders.
I can't even move in here. I was going to clean my office on Saturday, and I totally avoided it. I can't even move in here without stepping on something.
Well, Nicole's been doing, she's in the chat, Nicole's been doing some like listing challenges, you know, to try to get people motivated. I'm like, yes, just let me get the kids back to school. I don't know how people do it. I just, you know, I got to take my hats off to them. I don't know.
It's hard when you have distractions. I'm fortunate I don't have a ton of constant distraction. I think I distract myself.
Right.
You know, I get where, oh, I need to do this and I need to do that and I need to do this, and I don't really do any of it, and then I just get all, I'm an avoider. I avoid, you know, like, oh, if I cannot do that, I won't.
Yeah.
Me too.
So I think that's the thing I want to work on today. I was listening to a TED Talks this morning when I couldn't sleep, and she was talking about that everybody's that way. You know, that if you basically have 5 seconds to decide if you're going to do something or not. And once that 5 seconds has subsided, you're not going to do it.
Yeah.
So if you're presented with something, then it's like, oh, I need to do this, or I should do this, or I should go talk to that person, or I should pick that sock up off the floor. You know, it's like once 5 seconds has subsided, you're not gonna do whatever it is. And so I was thinking about that today. So this morning I was like, you know, I should clean the toilet. And then I was like, well, and then I was like, no, do it right now. You know.
Maybe that's what happened in my kitchen.
Exactly, mine too, Margaret.
I keep doing the flyby. Later.
Yeah. So I mean, she was basically talking about that. You know, nobody really wants to do anything. You know, you go into autopilot and you kind of don't like change, and you don't really want to do anything that's extra. Right. And so you have to make yourself do it. And so I, for a long time, thought that there was something wrong with me. You know, because I was like, I don't want to do it. I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
And it was like, and so basically she was talking about, she was like, well, you're never going to feel like it. You're never going to feel like doing it. Yeah. You have to make yourself.
I think also in your brain, it takes longer than you think in your brain. Yes. So like I've set I'm going to see how long it takes me to clean the kitchen, and I'll start the timer, ready, set, go. And then it's like 10 minutes or something like, oh. But in my brain,
you know what's scary, Margaret?
What?
I've done the same thing.
Have you really?
I want to know how long it takes me to do something.
Like, oh, I just really don't feel like folding this pile of laundry. Well, let me see how long it's actually taking.
I've done that too, because laundry is like my thing. I'll wash it and dry it, but I don't want to put it away. I'll
pile it up on the bed.
Yeah. And so one day I was like, well, how long does it really take to put it this away? And it was like 6 minutes. You know?
Yeah,
oh my God, I'm like totally stressing out over 6 minutes.
But in your brain, it takes like 4 hours.
In my brain, it takes all day to put away laundry.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep. No, the toilets. I live with 3 men, or I'll call them men for now. 2 of them are small boys, but in my mind, I didn't make that mess. You know, so I leave that to the boys to clean up the toilets. I don't know. Maybe that's bad, but that's me.
I've started, because I've really been trying to work on, like, change and self-improvement, because, I mean, there's nobody else that's going to do it but me, you know. Nobody's going to come in and, like, I'm not on one of those TV shows where they come in and save you and fix all your problems. So I've been working on, like, okay, well, what are some different strategies that I can do to kind of get more organized? And so last night I sat down and I wrote down, I was like, this is what I accomplished today. You know, I did this, I did this, I did this, you know, and then what do I want to accomplish tomorrow? You know, and I was like, okay, I want to finish my collar shipment, and I have to take my nephew to the dentist, and I have to, you know, make this phone call, and, you know, those kind of things. And it was really nice to just kind of get that stuff out of my head and put it on paper, you know. And then today I can sit down and go, okay, what did I accomplish today? Well, I finished my collar shipment, and I took a nap, you know.
Do you add stuff to the list, like, oh, I forgot I did that.
Yeah, I cleaned the toilet, and you know, that wasn't even on the list, you know, and it's hard to clean. I put the dishes in the dishwasher, you know.
Tonya's a list maker, I know.
I think, you know,
I'm a list maker.
Well,
I
I'm
got a
not.
list right here going now.
I think I'm not, and I think what I wanted to do was focus on, like, okay, because a lot of times I will sit there and say, I did nothing today. I got nothing accomplished. And so it was kind of nice to just sit down and be like, no, I did do things. This is what I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Little things add up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My kids ate breakfast.
Yeah, I got the kids to camp. We didn't make it yesterday.
They might get a bath tonight. There's no school tomorrow.
And so I've been thinking about that too. About so how do you do your list, Tonya? What kind of lists do you make? Are you a to-do lister, or are you somebody that does it by priority, or?
I'm a to-do person, and then, like, I always have a goal, like list 10 items on eBay today, and I make my little slash marks as I go throughout the day.
Yeah.
But I'm a big believer in the list. They help keep me on track.
Have you guys been watching Entrepreneur Girl Tracy's videos?
Yes.
She's been putting out a series of videos about getting your life on track and all the. She's got it together.
She has. I really enjoy watching her videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like doing slash marks, tally marks for my listings as well. I'll put 10 and then I'll slice them off as I go.
Right. It feels so good to put that 5th one through, right?
Yeah, because if you don't do it, then it feels like it doesn't count. It's like if you went for a walk and then like your GPS messes up, it's like it didn't count.
Yeah.
You're like, those miles were wasted, not documented. I like to have it. I keep it right here. I have my little book.
I've seen
okay,
it.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
It makes me feel more productive.
Me too.
What else was I gonna say? Oh, that was another thing I wanted to sit down and do this year, was actually figure out, like, okay, what are my real goals? What do I really want to accomplish? And then, what does it actually take to get there? Because I know a lot of times you can set a goal and you're like, I want to do this, but you don't like really think about the individual steps of what you can do to get there. And I wanted to get it as far broken down as possible, that it was like, okay, if you could set a goal and say, oh, I want to do $100,000 this year. Well, okay, that's great, but how are you going to get there?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, if I'm going to do that, then I need to make sure I have $15,000 of inventory listed. At all times. Okay, well, if I'm going to do that, then that means I need to go sourcing more. So if I'm going to do that, that means I need to go sourcing 3 times a week. Okay.
Yeah.
If I'm going to do that, that means I need to list more. So how many things do I have to list every day to get to that point? So kind of like actually breaking it down into, this is what I have to do to get there, from this day by day, hour by hour kind of thing.
Yeah. There's a lady I know that does that. She does it with her kids even, like, for her son was setting his goal for selling popcorn for Boy Scouts, and she was like, okay, you have to have it sold by this date. So she would write the X on the calendar and then back it up, so every week you've got to sell, so many blah, blah, blah. And just so it's all laid out for him, so he's got these little mini goals along the way to get there.
Yeah, I think that's effective, though. I think it's an effective way to break it down instead of just being like, okay, well, this is my goal. Okay, well, then what?
Let's do it.
Do it!
We're going to do it.
Let me check the chat to see if we have any questions, and then did you guys have any things you wanted to talk about before we leave for the week? And next week is the new year.
Yeah.
Yay.
Woohoo.
I am ready to say goodbye to 2015.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to start all over in 2016.
Well, yeah, I'm planning on getting... Yeah, it is like a fresh start. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
It is. That's right. Did you get anything awesome for Christmas? I didn't get to ask you.
No, not really.
I got a new set of pots and pans.
I know what her husband wants you to be doing.
My mom got them for me.
Oh.
Apparently your husband's been talking to her.
Right, that's right.
I didn't get anything. I got money. My dad gave me money, which is nice because I like money.
Money's always nice.
Money's my favorite.
Yeah.
And my husband is required to go to Dillard's and buy my perfume that I wanted. Because it was discontinued. It was only out for like a limited time like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And then it went away. And they would only bring it back in these little tiny little bottles that would come in like a sampler pack or something. And so then this year I saw that they brought it back and it was like in a gift pack. And I was like, you have to go buy that because they're going to take it away. And I don't know when it's coming back because it was gone for like 3 years. Michael Kors Red Rose Gold.
Oh, okay.
Michael Kors Rose Gold. And I just think it smells so good. But it's so expensive. And so when it was out, I just couldn't. It was like $125. And I was like, that's a lot of money for perfume.
Yeah.
You know, but it smells so good. You only need like one spray, you know.
Right. When you find one that you like, you know, it's.
Yeah.
You know. I don't even know what the one I wear is called. Maybe Baby, I think.
I'm always embarrassed to say what mine's called. It's Estee Lauder Sensuous Nude.
I was wondering what I liked about you.
Oh.
No, I'm not going to be able to get that out of my head. Thanks. Next time I see you, that's what I'm going to think.
Oh, lovely.
Thank goodness I'm not a man, because then I couldn't walk up to you and go like, so, are you sensuous?
No good thing. Sensuously nude. So we're going to close out the show on that today. But thank you for joining me today, and I hope everybody has an amazing new year and you get your goals all written out and your plans for the new year and all your resolutions and big dreams that we all seem to have starting up a new year, and hopefully we'll keep them in place as the year goes on. But anyway, everybody, thanks for watching. You have a really good week and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.